Hey sports fans, Haroon Rashid, Khemeia Consulting, and welcome to Haroon's Hangout, the internationally featured show on marketing innovation, where we make digital marketing simple, straightforward, and fun. So today, we are restarting the whole format of our Hangouts at Khemeia Consulting. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to have at least one of the Khemeia team members on every one of the show, and then in 1 week of the month, we're going to have a special guest who will come on the show as well. So today, it's just very apt that I'm going to be having Mr. Ian Sharp on Haroon's Hangout for the very first time. How's it going, Ian?
Good morning, Haroon, and thanks for the invite. I noticed that I'm just one of the team and not a special guest, so thanks for that intro. That's really good.
Well, I wanted to say you're special, but I thought that would come across in the wrong way. So, but for those of you who don't know, so Ian is the founder and the head of Khemeia Consulting. That's where I work. So Ian Sharp is a business growth coach. He's a business consultant, and he deals with all things to do with, business management, business modeling, leadership, sales, all that good stuff around how to grow a business. So I wanted to get Ian on the show today to talk about what is innovation with me, but we're going to be talking about it from a marketing perspective. And by the way, if you didn't know, Ian also has his own show, which is called At the Sharp End, which is on Google Plus on Mondays. Now, I was on Ian's show just a couple of days ago where we talked about what is innovation from a business perspective. If you're watching this on YouTube, there'll be an annotation somewhere where you can click it and you can watch that. If you're watching this from within our blog, there will be a link in the show notes where you can check that out, but check that out. So Ian, we're going to talk about what is innovation from a marketing perspective. Are you ready?
Absolutely. Go for it.
Awesome.
So where do you want to start? Because, the marketing is a huge subject, right? And for small businesses, it's a real problem. It's a massive problem. And I think, when we started working together, which is a little bit over a year ago now, I think we shared some frustrations about companies out there that were offering quick fix marketing solutions, but not really getting under the skin and allowing small companies and even larger companies actually to get value for money out of what they were doing. And that's where we started to think about that whole marketing system and how really small companies can use the latest tools to the best effect and actually try and innovate within what we do and what we offer to small companies.
Totally. I mean, we had to change our mindset in a way, didn't we? Because everyone else was doing like quick fixes, like you say. Everyone's going, oh, we can make you a viral video, and making it sound like, they want something on Bruce Forsyth's, one of his TV shows or something like that. We can give you this, we can do that, and all that kind of stuff. And it was just weird and wonderful promises. And when we sat down, we actually talked it out. We were saying, well, actually, we believe marketing should be done this way. But the strength, I think, of what we're able to offer and what we've been doing with our clients is that the mindset that you have kind of instilled in Khemeia. So not just with myself, but all the other guys in the team and all that. So it's all about thinking differently. And this is, I guess, this is what we're talking about in terms of innovation. For me, I think, for our clients, people think of innovation, they think about just a product. They think it's just only applying to technology or whatever, but it's not. Innovation can apply to, and like we talked about on your show, it can apply to business, it can apply to marketing, it can apply to insights, which John takes care of, and it's that mindset that you bring to your marketing. So I guess the best way I can describe it is, Will It Blend? You've heard of Will It Blend, haven't you?
Absolutely, yeah. Great viral videos.
Absolutely. So I think that was innovation, because for those of you who may not know, if you Google Will It Blend or go on YouTube and do Will It Blend, I'll put some videos in the show notes. A guy selling blenders. Okay, blenders are boring as hell.
But not if you blend an iPad or a piece of 4x2 wood, right?
And that's
then it's interesting.
Exactly. I mean, the whole, as the story goes, I think the main guy who's on the videos, I think his name's Tom. He was walking in the R&D department with his marketing guy, and the marketing guy saw these people blending 2x4s, and he was just like, "Drrrr," and he was like, whoa, that's crazy. And then they said, like, well, can you blend this? Can you blend that? And, you know, Tom was saying, yeah, of course you could. And that's why they started blending, like you say, iPads. I think he did a crowbar, marbles, a Justin Bieber doll. And his sales went up, like, I don't even know how much, but I'm guessing he's a millionaire now from selling blenders.
Yeah, exactly. Before we start talking about, like, I mean, you just mentioned viral videos and obviously Will It Blend, which is a great take on a fairly standard product. Actually, they've got a great high-end product. But let's talk about where the frustration comes from. So one of the things that, if you remember when we first started talking about this, I said, why does no marketing company talk about return on investment?
Oh, you mean return on influence? Or return on investment?
No, investment, not bloody influence. Excuse me. But exactly, born out of frustration, right? Why pervert the meaning of return on investment when everybody knows that that's what it means? Every company wants to know, for every pound you put into your marketing budget, what's the impact going to be? And you can hear that coming through really strongly in recent radio adverts, where they talk about radio having the highest return on investment for any marketing spend. So for every pound spent, you get £9 out. It's all debatable, right? It's statistics. But at the end of the day, they've recognised the same problem, and must have had the same frustration trying to attract advertisers to their channel. So we started by sitting back and saying, actually, what's the big thing that everybody wants to know? Well, if I put a budget together and I'm going to spend £500 a month, or I'm going to spend £3,000 a month, what's the return going to be? What's the impact? And almost every single marketing company we looked at will not answer that question because it's a difficult one to answer.
Well, because they don't understand it.
Right.
They're afraid to talk about it because, and again, this is where when we started talking, we said let me rephrase that. Some marketing companies, first of all, aren't actually marketing companies. They're design agencies or they're branding agencies. They're very good at design. Don't get me wrong, they're very good at design, both online and offline, but they are not marketing agencies. Marketing is intrinsically linked to the company's finances. Like you're saying, return on investment. So it's like, yeah, if you're going to spend 10 grand, what is the return going to be? But then some companies will shy away because they're not actually the companies to answer that question. And it's kind of like they're in the wrong position in a way. Don't you think?
I do, absolutely. And like you're saying, that the companies that are branding agencies and web development agencies do some absolutely great work, but they build themselves as whole system marketing companies. Now, in our view, putting a Twitter feed on there and a Facebook feed and all the other social feeds does not a marketing company make. They're just merely opening the channels. It's not. You really need a system and a process to think about how you're going to use that, and that's where I think we differ massively to most people, because we're advocates of finding which channels work first and foremost. We don't preach which channel you should be using. It's what's right for your business. And then how to use it. Actually, the market tells you, and we test, measure, and adapt your content to make sure it works for you. And we feel that's quite innovative. But the underlying part of that as well is we actually want our clients to take control of what they're doing. And most marketing agencies don't want to do that. They want to earn revenues month on month for generating content. And I think the whole web platform thing and Google changing its algorithms to look for original content and like original content means that companies have got to start generating their own information and their own content, because it's really about their company.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, what you said there in terms of our approach. So for those of you who don't know, okay, we're based in Yorkshire in England. I know we have an international audience, okay, fine. But we have caught the attention of a lot of people, both in terms of press and in terms of companies and the business community over here, because our approach is very different. We do train people how to do their marketing for themselves, okay? Because we believe, hey, you should be in control of it, because we've all been stung by bad agencies. I have. I'm sure you have as well, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think the approach there is innovative, and I think this is what Khemeia is trying to get at, is that innovation doesn't just have to be around about technology or products. It could just be the way that you approach something. It could be your mindset. It could be the way that you offer your services in a different way. And I think that we've done that, haven't we?
We have, absolutely. So what so what things will we be advocating to a client to do that's different, that's out of the box? We must we've got a few examples to share, I'm sure. I mean, one of the things is we use video heavily, right? And video advertising in the UK, or video marketing, content marketing in the UK, is really in its infancy. It's much further ahead in the US, to the extent that Cisco reported, Cisco's a big infrastructure provider and equipment provider, but they reported last month that 3/4 of the web traffic is now video. And that's probably unsurprising given the size of the files. You don't have to do much video content to swamp everything else. But they're expecting it to grow, almost exponentially and soak up all this wonderful high bandwidth broadband that we've got. So it's definitely changing. We are advocates of it and we use it extensively, but it's not about advertising. It's not about the kind of advertorial type things that we see in newspapers, on radio, on TV. It's about being ourselves and talking about the things that we're passionate about.
Absolutely. It's even this video right now.
Wait, are we advertising?
Oh, crap. Well, I mean, so let's just go back a couple of steps there. So even there, and I think you mentioned this on your show, actually, when we talked about what is innovation, but you mentioned that I think the UK is a little bit behind when it comes to innovation. Although, I think that there are some great organizations now that are here and are encouraging innovation, and I think businesses should get involved with that. But as we've said, like in the US, in terms of marketing, content marketing, they're light years ahead of us. So like they understand about how YouTube videos can get ranked on page 1 of Google. Hey, did you know that, guys? Videos can get ranked on page 1 of Google. And in fact, that's how I got on CBC Radio, isn't it? Because one of their business correspondents, wanted to do a piece on LinkedIn marketing. What did they do? They Googled a phrase around how businesses can use LinkedIn or something like that. And my video came up on page 1 of Google. I got on CBC Radio in Canada. How cool is that? It's quite funny, actually, when you think about it, that they could have chosen anybody from Canada or America, but they chose a lad in Bradford. That's hilarious to me. But
it's because you're wearing a US football shirt, right?
But Canadians don't like the Patriots?
Exactly. Exactly.
But even like, say, with our clients then. So we have a client who assembles flat pack furniture. And they have really just taken this whole thing about video marketing and they've just run with it. And, we did some training with them. They understood the fact that you can use videos, get ranked on page 1 of Google. Next thing I know, they've done about 20 or 30 videos just off their own back. They've created their own studio. And then they also, because what they do is they assemble flat pack furniture, so it could be like a chest of drawers, for instance. And then they did one thing, which I thought was really innovative. I think it's one of their most watched videos at this date. But they got one of the directors, blindfolded him, and they timed him, how fast can you assemble a chest of drawers blindfolded? And it was so cool, so funny. And I think he did it in about under 3 minutes, which is great because it usually takes me 3 days to do that kind of thing. But that they put it on there, and it's getting shared, it's getting likes, it's getting comments, and all that kind of stuff. And that, to me, was another example of innovation. Not only did they do the video, they took another application of it, made it humorous, made it fun, made it engaging, and that was innovation in marketing.
Absolutely, Haroon. And the big thing about innovation is identifying a problem or a blockage in the first place and figuring out how to get around it. What's the system, process, tools that you're going to use, how are you going to implement them, can you come at it from a different angle? And if you can do that and put all those things together, make money out of it, then that's innovation. That's innovation at work. You know, it doesn't have to be a new product. It doesn't have to be a new service, as you said. That's quite right. In fact, the majority of innovation is sort of quiet innovation, and it's more about business process. It's more about efficiency. It's more about how you deal with suppliers, how you act with your communications backwards and forwards, even within the company, because all of those things impact on the bottom line. And I've said it before, but you know, the big definition of innovation that we like is that innovation has to be commercial and it has to return money to your bottom line to be innovation. Otherwise, it's not. It's just an idea, or it's you know, a product that doesn't work, or it's a system that doesn't work.
So I love that. Okay, so innovation has to be commercially focused. It has to make money. It has to impact your bottom line. So
Yes.
like the ROI discussion that we were just having there, it's so applicable. It's so apt for that. So what we're saying is, guys, for the viewers, if you're doing your marketing, any kind of marketing, whether it's offline, online, whatever it is you're doing, you have to consider the ROI. And if you're wanting to innovate with your marketing, all the activity, whether it's your mindset, all that quiet innovation stuff that Ian was talking about right there, has to impact your bottom line. If not, you are, quote unquote, messing around on Facebook, which some people say, don't they?
Yeah, yeah. In fact, I think to coin a humorous phrase, that would be social not working rather than social networking.
Yeah. Okay. But hey, you know what? There's a lot of this will be controversial, I know, but there may be a lot of social media agencies who are doing that.
Oh man, find me a guru quick.
Oh gosh. I'm sick of that. But you know what's funny is that whenever I do a talk now, I'm always called a social media guru, and I don't know, it's just funny to me. I think it's hilarious.
I think that you know, yeah, that's good that you've been talked about in that way. But I think when people realise what it is that we actually do and the training that you actually give, it's quite clear that guru is generally a misunderstood term, I think.
Yeah.
Because our big thing is the application of marketing techniques and the systematization of marketing techniques. And it's making it work for a company because it's a complex subject. There was a lovely little infographic the other day that I saw, and it had got all the things around SEO for your website. SEO is not just about keywords. You know, SEO is about links, it's about content, it's about keywords, it's about you know, plenty of other parts. It's about how your SERPs work on your website. It's about the structure of your website. It's where you're hosted. It's how often you update your pages. And it was a lovely little graphic, and it is a circle, and it had got all these elements off it. And you just look at it and go, wow, it really is complicated, actually. To do all of those things properly, it is complicated. But actually, if you follow our system, and I went round it all, and you could actually tick them all off and go, yeah, actually, that's what we do at that stage, that's what we do at that stage, and that's built into our content plan. Yeah, that's built into the editorial calendar. Yeah, that's how content is published and shared. No, exactly. So it's kind of refreshing, and there are what it shows actually is there are plenty of other people out there. It's not just us that understand how to do this stuff. There are lots of other people out there that understand it and actually specialise in it. What they don't do is train other people, and I think that's where we differ.
Absolutely. But you know what really grinds my gears, Ian, is when, let's say it's a social media company, and you know, some of our clients will come up to us and go, well, how do you set up a Twitter account? Or how do you do this? Or how do you know, very basic stuff. And it's like, we'll just say to them, well, to be fair, you can Google all that stuff for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the value you're going to get is, okay, once you set up your Twitter channel, like you're saying, how are you going to use Twitter now to make money from it? It's as simple as that. That's where the value is, I think, isn't it?
Well, and how many clients have we talked to where you look at the website and they go, oh yeah, we've got Twitter and we've got Facebook and we've got Pinterest and you go, okay, how did you choose those? Are they working for you? Are you looking at the analytics? And they go, Not sure. And in fact, a couple of times recently, we've looked at people's social links on their websites, and there's nothing on their channel at all. It's just a blank channel, and it's been up for months, if not years.
Oh, absolutely. And sometimes they're not even going to a particular profile. They're just, if it's a Twitter icon, we had one instance where the Twitter icon just went to twitter.com.
Yeah.
It wasn't even. Anyway, never mind.
Actually, the better and more frustrating one was where Twitter and LinkedIn both had icons, and they were crossed. They went to the wrong service.
Oh yeah, Twitter went to
Facebook. Facebook went to Twitter.
Yeah. That's not the right kind of innovation we're looking for.
So that's the basics, isn't it? That's social links 101 gone wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, I mean, I'm kind of thinking that innovation, in terms of a marketing perspective, like you say, it has to be commercially focused. It has to talk about the ROI issue. It has to talk about that. Whatever you're doing, whether it's social media, whether it's your SEO, whether it's getting a new website, you have to talk about, okay, have we generated more leads? Have we got more traffic? Have we got more inquiries? Have we closed more sales? Yeah. Those are the things that people should be looking for. So if you guys want to be innovating with your marketing, those are the kind of questions you should be asking. Hey, you know what? I'll even put them in the show notes for you, so you can send it off to your director or your marketing manager or whoever it is that deals with this kind of thing in your company. Because these are questions you have to answer. If you don't ask them now, the questions will come up at some point. So it's best that you get them asked now.
No, that's absolutely right. And actually, we prefer to be asked those sorts of things, don't we, up front? It's not the things that we want to avoid. We actually want to address, what are you going to do? How long is it going to take? Because that's another great question, isn't it? So if I pay you all this money, Mr. Khemeia Consulting, can you guarantee that you'll get me on page 1 for these terms? And how can you prove that you can do what you say you can do? Well, we can, because we've got clients who we've done it for. And if you talk to us about a real project, then we'll point out what we did, how we did it, how much traffic they've been driving, and leads that they've generated as a result of it. And actually, Haroon's a case in point, because he generates lots of leads for Khemeia. Which is, that's a result of all the content that we generate and all the knowledge around the innovation side of the marketing system that we apply on a day-to-day basis.
Totally. Let's talk a little bit as well about, because people will be going, okay, now I get the whole financial aspect, but innovation with marketing, what can I use how can I use social media differently, or all that kind of stuff. And I think the way to illustrate that is that when I first came to work for Khemeia, and I said this on the show as well, like when I first came to work for Ian, I would go to Ian with an idea, might be for a campaign or something, and I'd say, okay, Ian, this is what I want to do. And Ian would look at that and say, okay, that's really cool, and I'm wondering, is there another way that we could do this? Is there another way that we could try and approach this that no one else has done before? And, it kind of forced us not to be complacent and not to just follow the crowd, but just to kind of lift up our eyes and have a look around, see what else is out there, what other tools are out there, because it's a golden age for, apps and tools and all this kind of stuff and all these other applications you could use. And just, it's a different way that you can approach your email marketing or your social media marketing or your video marketing. Like we've already given you an example of one of our clients who, was making videos and all that kind of stuff. So I think the first thing to do is that if you want to innovate with your marketing, it's about thinking differently. Not just doing it just for the sake of being different, only doing it if you think that there's a good chance that this might work. We need to test it, we need to measure it, we need to adapt it. That's kind of what happened, isn't it, Ian?
It is, absolutely. And now what's really great is you do that back to me. So that's worked. Quite pleased with that. So all the team now challenge, and we spend a lot of time discussing how we're going to do things. And the big benefit there is we're looking at all the latest techniques and trying to figure out how they plug in, trying to test them with ourselves, with clients. So it's constantly refreshed. And we've had, I think, one of the best ones, best ways to show or talk about that is one of our clients is big in corporate video, and he'd realised very early on that video marketing, short snippets, optimization was very big on the internet agenda. And in fact, Google themselves love it and love the idea. So he set up a separate company. I worked with him on a coaching basis, and we developed his business model, we developed his marketing. Haroon did all the marketing training with him, and he goes and talks to development agencies, he talks to branding agencies, he talks to companies daily that offer SEO to companies, and quite often, in fact more often than not, when he tells them that he can optimize video and it gets ranked more quickly than anything else because of the way that it's optimized and the way that it's shared and promoted on social media, they don't believe him. One managing director actually blocked the doorway and wouldn't let him out of the building until he actually said, "Look, you can't stand in my way and stop me leaving." But what that guy wanted to know was, how are you doing this? Because they were static. They were stuck in their process and techniques. They'd not innovated within their own company, so they'd not moved forward.
Yeah, and so innovation is that constant looking, that constant learning as well. Like, I mean, for me, I read about 20 to 30 articles a day just to make sure that I keep sharp. Hey, sharp. Keep sharp, and make sure that we're using the latest digital marketing techniques. Because even in our pitch when we're talking to clients, we say you have to use the latest digital marketing techniques. Look at what happened with the whole SEO thing with Google Panda, Google Penguin. Some websites just disappeared off the face of the earth, didn't they, because of that stuff? But it's because
absolutely, and I mean that's really that's a really interesting thing to do, because what happened there is Google had identified things that in their mind and in their how they'd implemented it in their algorithm gave websites a certain authority, and meant that the websites that were being ranked were getting lots of links, being shared a lot of times, and so quite quickly all the little black hat, cheapo, dodgy agencies pop up and start buying links in China and India, and in fact it's going on right now. So if you go on Fiverr, which is a $5 contracting type website, you can go and get services there, cheap services, develop your brand, develop your website, develop an app, all that kind of stuff. So you go on Fiverr, and there are people offering 100 real person likes and shares for $5. How does that work? That's not real. Why? Well, it's very cheap. It's not real, and there'll come a time where these people that are doing that kind of thing will be singled out and either disavowed, or the websites that have, or the social channels that have had it will be demoted, like Google did with Penguin and Panda with websites. People that had swapped lots of links, got onto page one, suddenly found overnight, boof, they couldn't be found on Google. Never mind ranked on Google. And now there are tools available, free tools actually, to bring those websites back and disavow all those links. And if you want to talk to us about that, we can do that as a service as well. But actually, we can show you how to do it, so you can do it yourself.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? Because like SEO, social media, digital marketing is considered quite an innovative field or very fast-paced, industry, and it is. But it's funny how already we can have companies or people that are stuck in tradition and they're still not innovating. And I think the key is really to keep moving. Not even just that, but like looking ahead and trying to anticipate what's coming next, or even better, if you want to be really innovative, looking and saying, well, what's the next curve, and can I be the one that creates that curve?
Yeah.
And that's what we've been trying to do, in fact, with our company, is saying that we don't want to just follow the leader. We want to be the leader. If you want to be a leader, you've got to be willing to try new things. You've got to be willing to try new things and fail as well. I think another important thing is with innovation, and this is what we teach our clients, is you have to be willing to try things and be okay that some of these things are going to work and some of them are going to fall flat on their ass, and I mean flat on their ass. And it's been interesting because we've had some clients who are just saying, well, no, we can't do that. We're not willing to try that. And we're saying, well, get used to being sat where you are then. If you're telling me you want to be a leader, but you're not willing to do what it takes to get to that place that you're telling us you want to go to. You're not willing to try new things. But then on the other end of the spectrum, there's people who say, we want to try that. We don't care if it doesn't work. There are some things that will work, some things that won't. We want to try it though, because you have to be willing to do things that are different. It was so refreshing. We were sat with a potential client. Me and John were with a client in Leeds. It was a solicitor's firm, and they said that they were working on starting a podcast.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
I mean,
very good.
It's a solicitor's firm. They wanted to start a podcast. Now, most solicitors' firms would go, oh, we can't do that. No, we can't do that. No. What do you think this is? Do you think this is, But these guys that we were talking to were being innovative. They were saying, well, hey, why not? Why can't we do it that way? If no one else is doing it, surely that means that if we just start a podcast, hey, we're already differentiating ourselves from our competitors.
Yeah.
That's being innovative. So I think we are running out of time. So I think what we'll do is we'll do a quick recap, Ian. So if you're a marketing manager, if you're an SEO manager, marketing director, and you are wanting to affect innovation in your company, I think the main things that you can take away from this are, number one, you've got to change your mindset. You've got to think differently. You've got to be willing to approach things in a different way. Number two, you've got to look at the latest digital techniques. You can't be using black hat tactics, dodgy SEO tactics that like Ian was talking about. You've got to keep abreast of everything. Look, go on feedly.com. Subscribe to some good blogs. I'll even put some stuff in the show notes and good blogs that you can subscribe to. Yeah. Thirdly, I think you've got to just lift up your eyes and look ahead and see what is the next curve. Can we be the ones that actually create that curve? Fourthly, just go and do it. Stop talking about it. You can plan and plan and plan, but eventually, you know what? Some plans just get left on in a drawer somewhere, but you could have the best plan in the world, but unless you actually implement that plan, it's still a plan. You haven't done anything. And finally, everything you're doing, ask the question about ROI. How is this going to impact my bottom line? How is this going to make us money? Is it going to, or even look at, is it going to increase your traffic? Is it going to increase your inquiries or your leads or your sales? There has to be some kind of tangible change. Okay, so innovation has to have that commercial focus. Did I sum that up? Did that sum it up okay, Ian?
No, that's pretty good actually. I'd just like to make one final point as well about the ROI thing, which is where we started out, which is if you're expecting a return, you should really know what your objective is from a business point of view. So one of the key things we do is tie the marketing to the business goals. If you want to hear about that next time, then I think that should be the content for another Hangout.
Well, yeah, I mean, we might even do that one next week on your show. So I'm just a reminder, so Ian's show is at the sharp end. It's on Mondays at 9 o'clock in the morning, Greenwich Meridian time, or UK time, whichever one you want to call it. I'll put a link to that in the show notes. But yeah, Ian's right, because a lot of the stuff that Ian does from a business modeling perspective, goals, strategy, and all that good stuff links perfectly with the marketing thing, with the marketing system that we have, And again, it's all financially, it's got a financial focus to it, it's got a business focus to it, and this is what really separates companies. This is what separates the average companies from the better companies. This is the difference between just existing and competing. And this is what we're trying to get at, is, not every company is the same. Everybody says they want to grow, but not everybody's willing to do what it takes. But we just believe that innovation is the fuel to that business growth. How's that sound, Ian? Sound good?
Perfect. Great to talk to you. Thanks a lot for the invite.
No worries, Ian. Thanks a lot for coming on the show. Remember, you can join us every Wednesday for Haroon's Hangout, where we make digital marketing simple, straightforward, and fun. Next week, I don't know which Khemeia member we'll have. It might be Ian, or it may be John Stevenson, who's our head of insights, but I'll let you guys know about that. Do subscribe for more videos if you're watching this on YouTube. We have actually hit our first 100 subscribers, so we're really pleased about that. And so from me and Ian, take care, sports fans.